We are tonight getting to hear for the first time some of what unfolded on the police scanners during the shootout between cops and these two suspects yesterday. In the 24 hours since that happened, we've learned that the suspects, Saeed Farouk and Tashfeen Malik, were husband and wife. They have a 6-month-old baby girl, and that when police entered what was supposed to be the couple's happy home, they found what is being described as a, quote, factory for explosive devices. Adam Housley is live near that home tonight. Adam?
Yeah, Megan, we were tipped off about that factory or that facility last night here in Redlands. We've learned a lot more today, too. When we first got back out here this morning, some of the first information we were getting was that this woman, this wife, was a bit mysterious to investigators. They were learning a lot about the husband and his family, a lot about her. As the day has transpired, we're learning more. First of all, they do believe now, at least they're working on the theory, that's the word to me, that this couple planned on a second hit. That their first hit was a soft target on purpose. As one terror investigator told me, this is an MO for a terrorist attack. They go for the soft target first to make sure they have a success. That way, if their second target goes awry, a more difficult one, they've already had a success. And so they believe they were intending on hitting a second target. That's what the premise is. They also believe that these two may have been may have been engaged in Mecca when they were in Saudi Arabia last year. And the third point I think is very interesting as well. They're now working on the premise that she may have radicalized him, which does make some sense in some ways when you look at all the facts that have been laid out there and try to connect the dots. And again, we were told she was the one shooting out of the back of the car. We do know there was some training involved here, and they're going on that as well. A lot of information, Megan, as you know, coming out from a lot of different sources, both national and international, as they continue to go forward in this case. For us, the headline for us that came out tonight is that they believe they were going for a second target, Megan.
Wow. Adam, thank you. Joining me now with more, Mia Bloom. She's a professor of communications at Georgia State University. She's also the author of the book Bombshell, Women and Terrorism, and she has been studying this issue for years. Mia, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Very happy to have your expertise. She may have radicalized him. How does that sound?
You know, this is very consistent, Megan. We've seen a lot of women who were far more radical than their husbands, and I think this preconceived idea that women are the kinder, gentler sex is thrown out the window, because we've seen a lot of very radical women associated with Al-Qaeda, ISIS. Even Hayat Boumediene is allegedly the person who pulled Ahmed Koulibaly into the organization, so we shouldn't be surprised.
He was very devout, and then said to radicalize, or had some signs of getting more religious more recently.
And I think that it's consistent, and maybe temporarily. When he met her, he went to Saudi Arabia twice, first to meet her and her parents, and then also then to get married. It's very likely that the relationship with her is what might have been the tipping point or the spark that radicalized him.
What kind, I mean, I realize we're dealing with a different ideology, but what kind of radical Islamic woman goes on what's potentially very much a suicide mission when she has a 6-month-old baby girl?
Well, you know, it's interesting, Megan. It's not just radical Islamic ideologies. We saw this in June of 2014, where Jared and Amanda Miller, also a couple, shot up 2 police officers and killed someone at Walmart. So this is not specific to the Islamic organizations. We've seen couples in a variety of groups. These people were sovereign citizen, extreme right wing. So we have radical women in all the groups. But we've also seen within the jihadi groups, whether it's the Chechen Black Widows, or in 2004, a Palestinian woman suicide bomber, Reem Riashi, blew up at Eris Crossing and left her child. In fact, she even posed with a child in her last Will and Testament videos. So a lot across a bunch of groups, we have these women.
You raised the question before the show of whether we might possibly be looking at a cell in San Bernardino. Why do you ask that?
I asked it because the fact that they had 4,500 rounds of ammunition, they had body armor, they had 12 pipe bombs. If he was going to attack the community center, he would have just brought the weapons at the first, when he first went there for the party. I wonder if maybe he had an encounter with Mr. Thelanios, where he'd had a fight with before, and he snapped. He knew he had all the weapons back at his house, went home, got his wife, got the weapons. It doesn't, for me, make sense why he wouldn't have taken the weapons in the first place. I think maybe there might have been a different target. but that at the party, he got very upset.
Mia, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All the best. Coming up, the husband of a shooting survivor shares his wife's harrowing story from inside the building. Listen to this. Plus, counterterrorism experts now saying the kinds of devices these suspects left behind are signatures of Al-Qaeda. Catherine Herridge is here on that. And then we will speak with Morton Storm, a man who once infiltrated Al-Qaeda, about the chilling prediction he made on this broadcast 2 weeks ago.
I believe that within the next 2 weeks, that we will have an attack in Europe again. I also believe that copycats in America will do the best to do what their brothers have done in Europe.